That's delicious. You know what it is? It's even better the second time around. Welcome to the future, everybody. Hello, beautiful people. We are live. We are so live. It's incredible how live we are. This is Thursday. This is mindset work today. We're going to be talking about the power of belief and how your thoughts govern your actions and what you can accomplish in your life. We've got a full house full of people here today. We got 4 people. Let's say hello to the dream team. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
No, that was my line. I said, hey, guys.
Oh, no, I'm saying, hey, guys. Hi, people. Hi, fans. I'm so excited to see you.
Greetings and salutations. I'm Erica, and I'm glad to be back.
Yay. Hi, Erica. We're glad to have you back. Soon, Erica is going to be cutting the show, but today she's got a story to share with us on the very topic of beliefs. And Aaron, good to see you. You're rocking the gold. Show people the gold shirt that everybody thinks you're so sexy in right now.
One of the shirts you guys can buy if you wear it.
I think Aaron just goes back and raids our personal supply of merch for his wardrobe. So we shall see. The inventory is going down. So if you don't get your shirt, if your shirt has a little scent of Aaron on it, now you know why. Just kidding. We will never sell you a used shirt. The last person in our broadcast booth today. The last guest
of honor.
Guest of honor.
Let's see her.
We're talking about my wife, my better half, Jessie Doe. Say hello.
Hello.
Why aren't you on camera, Jessie?
I'm camera shy.
You're camera shy? Well, either way, we're super happy to have you here.
I'm super happy for her.
My former students who have witnessed Jessie in the classroom with me, they can attest to what kind of energy she brings, and she calls me out on my BS. She is shocked and horrified at the things I'm saying on live, and we'll have an argument about it after the show, but that's how we do it here. We're fully transparent. And I just want to remind you before we kick this thing off, we have 3 new segments, 3 brand spanking new segments, and I'm excited to debut those with you guys, and hopefully they're a hit with you, and you guys let us know in the comments. Of course, Molly, Erica, and Jessie will be looking and reading your comments and be engaging with you online. We're unscripted. We're unedited. This is raw. And we're back. We're back. Are we okay? Are we on YouTube again?
We're good. We're good. We're all good. I'm sorry about that.
The team is just killing me. There's a whole flurry of action behind the scenes. Aaron's shaking his head like, I got this, bro. But, bro, you screwed it up the first time.
Everyone's asking if we could see Jessie. Sorry, guys.
They can't. Not just yet, you guys. We're going to work into it. This is an iterative step, and we'll keep going. You know what we could have done? We could have taken her, like a beauty shot of her and put her up. But if everybody wants to look her up, her name is Jessie, Jessie Doe, and you can find a picture of her somewhere, I'm sure of that. Anyways, I'm reading this book. It's called The Power of Self-Confidence. It's written by Tracy. It looks something like this, and I love it. And I want to share a story with you guys from this book. And then we're going to ask the rest of the guys here, the team, if you will, and for you guys to comment on it, on this idea as well. There's a story that I read in a book. It's called The Man on the Bridge. And here's how that story goes. There's a man on the bridge. There's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur, and he's struggling with his business. He's lost accounts, he's lost sales, and he's going into debt. People are calling him all the time. His debtors are calling him and hounding him. And he's thinking about whether or not he should continue with his business or filing bankruptcy and calling it quits. These thoughts weigh heavily on his mind, so he decides to go for a walk. Where he stops, he winds up in a park, and he's standing on a bridge at night, thinking about his life and the decisions he needs to make. Should he continue or should he quit? Then out of the darkness, a man appears. He seems to recognize the struggle that the man is having, and he asks him, what's the matter? And surprisingly, the man tells him his whole story. He tells him that I have a good business, and there is a good future, but I'm really struggling. And the man says to him, let me help. What is your name? He asks. So he tells him his name, and he reaches into his jacket and pulls out a checkbook. And he writes his name down, and he signs it, And then the stranger forces the check into the other man's hand, and he puts it in his pocket. He said, "Meet me back here in 1 year and tell me what happens." The man goes to his office next day. He pulls the check out, and it's for $500,000, $500,000. And he thought, this got to be some kind of joke. This can't be real. And then he looks at the signature. It says John D. Rockefeller. And John D. Rockefeller was the richest man in the world at that time, and he was well known for his generosity to strangers. So the man became really excited. He thought, I'm going to go to the bank, I'm going to cash a check. This is the money that I can use today, hire new salespeople, I can fix all the problems I have. But he decided to do something different. He's like, you know what? I can always cash this check. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go put it inside a safe and I'm going to lock it. That's my insurance policy. I can always go back in there and get the money. So the man went back, started to hustle with renewed vigor, enthusiasm, and he was able to slowly but surely turn his business around. After 3 months, he was able to get out of debt, to make the business booming again, close new accounts, got new sales. He was super thrilled. So as the months carried on, he was so excited to return on the 1-year anniversary to go and meet the stranger, Rockefeller. He stands on the bridge, waiting patiently, and nobody appears. And then suddenly, the man emerges from the dark again. He walks towards them, and he's so excited. He wants to tell them, here's what happened. Here's what I was able to do with your gift, and I'm going to return the money to you. So as he's reaching out to give him the check back, a woman comes chasing after the stranger. She grabs him, and she pulls him back. She says, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's escaped from the hospital again. He has some kind of dementia. He thinks he's John D. Rockefeller. And she takes him away. So the man on the bridge stands there, and he's thinking, he's totally stunned in disbelief. All this time, he thought he had the backing of John D. Rockefeller and $500,000 to succeed in his life. But his success was the result of his beliefs and only his beliefs. It was nothing more than that. So today's topic is really about what you put in your mind and how that can impact your life. I'm going to turn it over to the team for you guys to share your story or to weigh in on this to see what you guys think. Anybody want to go?
Erica?
Sure. So I was having trouble finding a job at the same time as trying to find, my creative outlet and something continuous. So I actually convinced myself that I was confident enough to do something every day. So that's when I started my dailies, and I do a GIF every day, and that's actually how I got this job here. So that worked out pretty well, just tricking myself into believing that I could do something and then doing it.
Wow, that was a good story. So you were feeling unsure, not confident, and somehow you just said, you know what, I got to block that out. I'm going to go make something regardless of what happens. And ultimately, that is how you got the job here, because I looked at Erica's reel, although it was good, it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. But then I turned on to her. I didn't know at the time that they're daily experiments, but I saw these little animated things happening on the screen, and they had this kind of energy and this pop and this whimsy to it, and that's what really drew me to her, and that's why she's working here today. Great story. Does anybody else have anything they want to share?
Aaron's story. I like
Aaron, anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a story. I just want to make sure, is that you got the mic is working? Just talk into it.
I think this mic's working.
Yeah.
I think Erica's just
you.
quiet.
Yeah, she was just a
Just
little
have
quiet.
some
That's all.
comments. Okay. Yeah, I
What's
have
your
a
story, man?
I just wanted to say before I tell this story that yesterday we were talking about just preparing for today, and I tried to tell this story, and Chris asked me, tell your story, and then I remembered my story, and it kind of all came back to me, and then I was going to tell it, and then Chris started laughing and cut me off a few times, and I got really upset, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry for getting upset that I got upset, so the story anyway.
Okay, let's get to the story.
Yeah, thanks for saying that, Aaron. I appreciate that. It takes a big man to say he's sorry. Yeah, and I am sorry as well. It's lots of love going around. We're just having a good time. And sometimes we take it too far.
Yeah, it's all right. We're cool.
Go Go ahead, Aaron. Tell your
Okay,
story.
so
man.
my story is
Let's hear it.
I like to surf, but this was back when I wasn't really that good at surfing. And I went out, it was wintertime, and it was really foggy, and the waves were really big, and there weren't a lot of people out there. And I was surfing, and there a big wave came, and it just like, I couldn't paddle over it. I was trying to get out past the surf, and it just ripped the board off of my leg, like the leash broke, and the board left. And so I was just floating there. Oh, and the board, like, while I was rolling under the water, it, like, hit me in the side of the ear, and it, like, burst my eardrum, and it was, like, bleeding.
God.
Oh my
Like,
God.
it had, like, I, like, lost my orientation, and it was bleeding, and it hurt a lot. And, like, I was just out there, and I couldn't see where the shore was because it was so foggy. And I was starting to feel, like, this is it for me. Like, I'm going to die here. I mean, there's no lifeguard to help me. He can't see me. There's no other surfers around. I'm tired. I'm, like, I don't know where I'm at, disoriented. And I was like, I guess this is how it ends. And then I feel like all of a sudden,
Wait, hold on. So you're sitting there contemplating your mortality, just sitting here thinking, this is it. Were you tearing up? Were you thinking about your parents? What was going on through your mind right there?
you know what I was thinking? I was
Tell
like,
me.
dude, I was talking to myself like, you're such a pussy, man. This is how you're going to die, just like this. I mean,
Whoa.
that's
Wait,
how I felt.
hold on. Dying in the ocean, doing the thing that you love, getting wiped out by a killer wave or something, that's not wimpy at all.
I mean, to me, I was like, because I always think I'm like this super tough, like, if I really wanted to do it, I could be in the Navy SEALs type guy.
I see.
But, like, I like to believe that I'm super tough, But then,
Delusions of grandeur.
yeah, and then this little bump on the head, and I'm going to die just like this. Like,
Bursted eardrum and
yeah.
you're gone?
I was
Okay,
such
so
a
you
pussy.
like busted your eardrum. You're
Yeah.
all disoriented. We know how that can be. Like when you have your ears plugged, it's really weird. You're in the ocean. Nobody's around. There's heavy
Yeah.
fog. And your board's gone. Your leash, it came off or
It
something?
just because the wave was like so strong and just like ripped it right off of my ankle,
Dang.
the leash, and the board was gone. So I had nothing to float on.
Right.
And the waves like kept coming and coming. You know how like waves come and it's kind of lulls for a second, another one comes. These ones were like just they kept
Pounding.
coming. Yeah, so I couldn't breathe like in a regular rhythm.
Yeah.
And I was just like starting to panic.
That's
But
scary.
then, yeah. I
Were you
was
drinking
pretty
salt
scared.
water?
No, I wasn't drinking, but I felt like, usually when you're floating in the water, you're like chest high. I was
Yeah.
like right here, like just like,
Oh, man.
breathing irregularly. And I'm like, dude, it was just feeling really easy to just like,
Let
I felt
go.
like I was like, dude, I should just float down and it won't be so bad. And because what am I going to do?
Like, float down and die?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it seemed like the
It's-
good thing
it's
to
done.
do, like
Yeah.
the easier thing to do at that point.
Right. It's an easier way out.
Because what else am I going to do? I tried to wait for help. No one can see me. So like, but then all of a sudden it's like, I felt like someone took over in my mind and was like, dude, shut up. Like, you're a pussy. Quit bitching. Like, just start paddling. And then I just started doing that. And then that's all I thought about. Just like a nice, long, easy motion laying on my back. Nothing too like panicky, And I just didn't think about anything else but just the motion of my hands and my legs and doing a nice like, and I just said, I can do this for days, I'm good. Like, I'll just keep doing this until something happens. So when I did that, and then like what felt like an hour later, I got back to the shore and I was like exhausted. My ear was like killing me at this point because it was like full of water, which probably got all up in where it shouldn't be. But I was like so happy and I was crying that I wasn't dead, and I was like, all right, this was cool. And then there was some dude about to go surf. Like, he was like zipping up his wetsuit and he's looking at me like, what the hell is this guy? Like, I'm crying and bleeding and just laying there and like,
He's about to go
yeah,
right
he's
in.
about to go in. And then,
Man.
yeah. So.
You know what? If I'm directing this movie, the story of Aaron Zagelli, this is where Aaron's laying like a snow angel, but he's a sand angel. Blood trickling out of his right ear, and then we crane up. We just slowly drift to the heavens. And that's the end of the scene, and then we roll the credits. That's how the story ends. Beautiful story, man. Wow.
Thank you.
And so...
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You don't
So-
have to ask. You just say.
Oh, okay. So basically, Aaron just accept the worst, which is the death. That he realized he might just die like that, and then he would just do whatever that he can, and then become easy.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Jesse. Like, once he accepted what his worst
the worst.
possible outcome
Right,
was, like
right.
death,
Yeah.
he was at peace with that. And he's like,
Uh-huh.
I could let go and just slip away into the darkness.
Yeah.
And people are all getting really depressed right now online, but that's okay. You guys pull yourself together. And once he came to grips with that death and his own mortality, he had that inner talk, that inner dialogue that just happens, right? And he was able to then find enough strength to say, you know what? If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die on my back. I'm gonna backstroke it to shore and who knows where I'll wind up, but I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's
And
better than death.
What's really interesting is the backstroke is like the easiest stroke to do. It consumes the least amount of energy. And if you're comfortable, it's actually, if you're not panicky, it's pretty chill.
Yeah.
You just stroke and you just go, and you can do it for a really, really long
Right,
time.
right.
It's a good conservation of energy. And what's interesting here is if we were to extract some meaning from this, if I'm to put on my my instructor hat, my coach and therapist hat, I would say, like, let's break this thing down. Aaron faces death. First, he's scared, and he blames himself, and he ridicules himself, calling himself a wimp. And he accepts death. And what he does is, instead of taking some big motion, he stays calm, and he takes a little step. The journey of 10,000 miles begins with a single step. Aaron's journey to shore and to life began with a single backstroke. And one stroke after the other, he eventually wound up there. I, too, have been in these kind of weird life and death situations myself. And it's very interesting because you want to just roll yourself up into the fetal position and cry and feel like the world's against you and how life is unfair and think about all those thoughts. But it's a decision to get yourself out of that, to let go of self-pity and to believe that, you know what, you have a life to live, you have a story yet to write. That gives you the courage and the strength to go ahead and do that. Probably he's also thinking, there's a lot of girls yet I have to date, and I can't go out like this. So each stroke was like, for that girl, for Jenny, for Barbara, you know, and he's just backstroking his way back to safety.
It's very true. Yeah.
I'm sure a little bit of
Very
that, but
true.
we're going to keep this show PG, okay. I want to say thank you to Scientist X, man. Thanks for donating.
We have actually 3 donations.
Oh, we do.
Well,
That's, hold on, can I just finish my sentence, please? You know, and I just want to say that's Aaron's friend, Arun. So thanks so much. He always donates all the time. Molly, who else is donating?
Chris Tucker and Pi Air.
Gosh, Chris Tucker, man.
I love Chris Tucker.
Yeah, Chris Tucker's awesome. Where's what is that movie called? Rush Hour 4 coming.
Oh, Rush Hour 1. That's a good movie.
Yeah, okay.
Friday.
Well, let's keep going on. I'm going to
Okay.
share a little story.
Someone keeps asking, how did Chris overcome getting bald and not losing self-confidence?
Okay, I'll answer that question in 1 second. Let me tell my story, and then we can get into my baldness. Okay. Woo! It's getting hot in this room. Did somebody turn off the AC? No. Okay. Let me tell you guys about my little story as I was kind of reflecting on this moment. I was trying to dig into my past to see how your beliefs govern your thinking. Now, little story here. When we first came to America, we landed in, of all places, Kansas City, Missouri, and half of our family, our large extended family, they were already in San Jose in California. So after having lived in Kansas City for, I think, a little over a year, my parents decided this is it, we're good. Everybody's established their roots in California, we're going to head out. But what they did was they sent us, the kids, ahead of time to go live in California while they finished packing up and getting things moved out. Maybe they were renting a truck or something, I don't know what happened. But so there was a period of time that I lived with my uncles, and I have many of them. And I remember one time I was chewing a piece of gum, and my uncle always warned me, never swallow the gum. And I asked, just out of sheer curiosity, what happens if you swallow the piece of gum? He says, you'll die. You will die if you swallow that piece of gum. So I always took that as a very strong warning because I don't want to die, obviously. So I'm chewing gum. I can't remember. I was talking. I was singing a song or something, and I swallowed the gum. And then panic set in. I think I'm 6 years old, 6.5 years old, something like that. Totally panic stricken. And I was thinking, it's just a matter of time now before I die. I need to make peace. And it just so happened that my mom called. This is old school. It's on the landline. And she's talking to all the kids. I have 2 brothers. I'm the middle child. I picked up the phone and said, Mom, I love you. And I'm fighting back the tears because I don't want to tell her I'm going to die. And she could tell. Mom's intuition is she could tell something's going on. She goes, you okay? I said, Mom, I swallowed gum and I'm so sorry. And she goes, it's okay. It'll be all right. It'll pass through you. And I was just like, what? I'm not going to die? So my whole attitude, my whole mindset, this whole self-pity and the shame, the guilt, and just thinking about my life and how I haven't done anything, it all washed away in a second. Went to play with my G.I. Joe or Legos or whatever we wound up doing. But it was just the belief. So positive beliefs can really fuel you towards doing what it is that you want. And negative beliefs can really tear you apart. And we've talked about this before, where we have to be very careful custodians of our mind. We have to be very protective of what we put in it. And we're making unconscious decisions every day with the people we surround ourselves with, including our family. A lot of times our family are the ones who know us the best, but unfortunately they're also the most critical of us. We read magazines, we read blog posts full of vitriol, venom, hatred spewing out. Social media is a really good place for that. We're watching the news and the media, and just negative things are affecting us all the time. And we don't live in a void. We live in the world where external stimulation pollutes what we think inside. So a lot of this is really about trying to clear away some of that negative stuff so that you have the power of belief. And sometimes it just takes one person in our sphere of influence to say, I believe in you, that you can do this. You are worthy. Your time is valuable. You have a gift. And if you start repeating that to yourself over and over every single day, it starts to cancel out all the negative stimulation that you're getting. I just want you to think about that. Now, there are a lot of comments that are coming in.
There's
Let's
also
read
a
some of them.
quote by Gandhi, which
What's the quote?
your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions, and your actions become your habits. So,
That's
careful.
beautiful.
Love
Like
your-
Gandhi?
Yeah.
Namaste.
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 Mm.
The light in me salutes the light in you. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's talk about my baldness. What's the question?
Oh, he kept asking, so that's why I.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm not being defensive. I'm saying, what's the question?
Well, he said going bald is really big with losing confidence, or
Is
some
it?
people.
Oh, let's
Hold
talk
on.
about that.
Let me. I'm trying to find that comment.
That's okay. All right, Aaron, cut to my bald face. Here I am. I'm bald. You guys can see that. Okay, and for many, many years, I think for almost 20 years, I have shaved my head. And I shaved my head for utility. And I shaved my head with like one of those electric shears. And so it went from a number 2 to a number 1, and now I use a razor blade. And because I like a really clean profile, I used to do a lot of things in terms of going to a salon, getting it cut and styled and spiky hair and bleached and colored and doing all kinds of crazy things. And I started to realize, I was spending a lot of time in this hair salon, and I was spending a lot of money, and both of those things were moving against my goals. And so one day I decided to use electric shears and just cut it off. I was rocking the Sinead O'Connor look, and my friend said, wow, you look really good. And from that point forward, I just kept shaving my head. So, obviously over the years, the first thing you lose is your mind, your memory, and then the second thing is probably your hair, and everything else falls apart after that. If you define yourself by the way that you look, your appearance in terms of your hair, your eye color, your eyebrows, your fat lips, or whatever you got, somebody's going to be able to take that away from you or use that as a weapon against you. And why would you give somebody else that kind of power? Self-confidence, and the word self is really important here. It's how you believe in yourself. You're internal validated, not external validated. And this is a strange concept, especially for people in the creative community, because we seek praise, we seek validation in the form of awards, and I'm guilty of this. We seek praise in terms of press or people writing about us or being featured in something. We're always looking for that validation, like for when the client says good work. My question to you, and for the things that you really need to think about, is, did you know that the work that you were doing was good before you met your client, before you presented it to them, or you weren't sure yourself? And so if your belief is the work was not bad, if you believe that the work was bad, cancel the meeting, reschedule and say, you know what? I don't feel confident with the work that I have right now. It's not there yet. I don't want to waste your time, and I apologize, but I need 24 hours more. Can we do that? I promise you won't be disappointed in 24 hours. Buy yourself a little time. And then if you present the work and you know it's good and the client says, well, that's not very good, well, that's just their subjective opinion. You know that the work is good. There's nothing wrong with the work. We shouldn't allow that person to influence what it is that we think about our own work. It's a dangerous game to play. That's not to say to discredit the client. The client has to say, after all, what's right for them. So it's not that it's not good or that's good or bad. It's not a good fit for them. And there's a big difference there. So if you imagine if you were running a clothing store and a person came in and they had a certain build and a certain kind of facial feature, and you're thinking, you know what? My favorite jacket is made by Theory. Try this on. And you put them on that person, and it doesn't quite fit them right. The shoulders don't roll off. And for some reason, it's not accentuating who they are physically. And you try other things, and they can have a reaction to each and every single thing that they try on until you find the perfect suit or jacket or tie for them. And that's no reflection on you. You're just trying to find a good match. And so if you start to look at it like that in terms of how you work with clients, it's going to fundamentally change your happiness and your self-confidence. Let's keep going. So I don't care
Mail
that I'm
time?
bald. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I really don't.
okay.
It's never.
Good. That's good.
I actually was talking to Jesse. I think I need to laser off all my hair across
Laser
my
it all
entire
off.
body.
Oh
Okay,
man.
I'm pretty hairless as it is, but
No, I was gonna say
That's
let's jump
great.
into mail time.
Yeah, let's move.
Are we ready to
I was
go?
thinking
Yeah.
your segue about the client, something about that would be a good segue into the spinning.
No,
No?
first
I'm
we're
messing
doing.
up.
so
yeah.
total chaos in the back end.
Sorry, we'll do mail
You know what
time.
it is? These guys are so eager to unleash new things on us that they're just not even listening and interacting with the story.
Wait.
Okay, we were
Whoa.
we were talking like, dude, you're going on this whole you're on this.
I
long
liked
thing.
your story.
Shut up. But like we were going.
Hey,
to,
be polite. Be polite.
no, but like we just don't know when to jump in, right? Like I mean, we
I'll
don't
tell you when to jump in. When I'm
Right,
done.
but all right.
All right.
All
Hey,
right.
Claire, thanks so much. Claire just made a donation to us. Thank you. Appreciate it, Claire. And guys, I want to address a couple things before we move on to the next little bits here. Is if we don't get around to mentioning your donation, I apologize in advance. It's because we're focused on the show. So there were some things last time in terms of us not being able to mention it. It's because I was so focused on the deck. That's one thing. And two, we're not going to tolerate trolls. Okay. So if you guys want to be here and be a troll, please go spend your energy elsewhere because Molly's going to mute you and then bounce you out of the room.
Kick you
I
out.
want to say that. Okay, let's. We got some mail. So let's do some mail, Aaron.
Mail time.
Yep, there's no music on these. Oh,
No,
there is.
there-
Yeah, there is. Enjoy the music.
All right, are we back?
Shut up, all
Yes.
one.
Aaron.
Aaron.
Could you just
Very-
chill out?
Yeah.
Can you chill out? I don't know.
Did you
I
have a
was
cup
worried.
of coffee
I was
before
worried.
this?
Come on.
I couldn't see the level, so I kind of
Okay.
tripped out.
Meditate
So
for a second.
I have one box here. One box here. I'm gonna open this box. I know what's inside, and I'm excited to share with you. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys a clue as to what's in the box. You see this little logo? Anybody on the internet, if you recognize this logo, please make a comment right now on Facebook
It
or
looks
on
like
YouTube.
the Pathfinder.
Shh.
Oh.
Are you the audience? Well, it's not the Pathfinder, but yes, everybody
Sorry.
can see that. Somebody figure out what it is. I'm gonna start opening it, and I'll tell you who it's from.
Blue's Clues.
Come on, guys. Do we have mail opening music? No.
Yeah,
don't.
we did
We did,
already.
okay. But Aaron talked all over
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You were all over that.
Everybody's always asking me, why don't you be nicer to my team? Well, I wish my team were nicer to me.
Hey, we all love each other here.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. Okay. Okay, so now I've opened the box. I'm going to show you guys what's the contents of the box. Did anybody guess what's in the box?
Let's see. What's in the box? What's in the box? No.
No? Okay.
Destiny 2,
No, it's not.
Pathfinder,
I'm
Overlap book,
The Bungie guys did not send me Destiny
Blue
2.
Apron. Are
Okay.
you going to cook for the team? So nice.
Yeah, I am really
yes.
nice. Okay, what's inside the box, you guys? What's inside the box is this. All right. This is from Sean West, and this is his brand new book. It's called Overlap, hence the logo. You see that, guys? So Sean West sent me first edition of his book. It's not even released yet because we're going to have him live in the very near future. We're going to talk to him. If you guys want to know more about Sean West, it's SeanWes.com. And he was originally known for hand lettering, and he launched a hand lettering course that did 6 figures in 3 days. I'm super excited to talk to him. He's kind of now moved into the space talking about the business of design. Lots of overlap, but he's a very interesting person with an interesting story to tell. So let me pull this out here, you guys. Give me a second here. It's got the little scrunchy paper packing things. He wrote me a little note. Okay, let's look at the note. Here's the note, you guys. Here's the book. Pretty thick book. Nice kind of cloth cover book, so it's very cool. All right, let me read the note here. He says, "Hey, Chris, it was so great to meet you. I love the way you think and the big vision you have. I look forward to many more conversations with you. Sean West." Boom. Thanks, Sean. I got 2 more pieces of mail to read. Aaron, can you cut to my screen, please? Okay, here's where I read your letters. So I just want to share 2 heartwarming notes that I got from people online. And there's so many more, so I apologize. If I wasn't able to feature your letter, we'll try to hit you guys up or hit you in the future. Hi, Chris. It was so nice to get a message from you after donating. The future is my new favorite must-see YouTube channel, and I am a former graphic designer, now beginning a second career in illustration. Your teaching and expertise is more valuable than I can even describe in words. Aw.
Aw.
Thanks, guys. Hold on, let me get
Yeah,
the official
where's
aw
that?
effect. We have human beings to do that, but anyways, not to mention how personable you are. Guys, somebody said I'm personable. That's pretty cool.
Wow, not a
Yeah.
robot.
I'm not a robot all the time.
Crazy.
Anyways, a small donation was the least I could do, especially after your gem of a class yesterday. She's talking about the typography course that we put out there. You are impacting many lives. Looking forward to what's ahead with the future. Peggy. Thank you so much, Peggy. Really appreciate it. And we have one more to read here. This is from Carmty. Chris, it's my pleasure to donate. It's the least I could do for the expansive and sometimes deeply touching and emotionally charging knowledge you and the future team share with us all. You guys hear that?
Yes.
Deeply touching and emotionally charging.
I wonder if that's this mindset talk that we're talking about right now.
Thank you for the time to write down those kind words. Keep up the awesome work. Best, Carmty. Carmty, thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
So thankful. And we'll be doing this as often as you guys send us mail. We'll read it on air, the ones that we like. Anyways, Aaron, we are going to begin the next of 3 segments. What are we going to do today?
Woo!
Molly, tell the audience.
The art of search.
The art of search.
This is our first segment of today.
Oh, wow. Okay, the art of search.
Okay.
Okay. Give us a little premises to what we're trying to do here. Give us the context.
So what I want to find is how to make a title card for finding your passion. If the YouTube clips. So you know how they have thumbnails, and I don't know what to search for when I'm trying to create a title for finding your passion.
Hold on, Chris, maybe could you take a step back and just talk about it overall? And
then that's what I was trying to ask Molly.
Sorry.
Take a step can you elbow your partner there and say start over?
I don't want to interrupt her, but start over. Take a step back, Molly. And just bigger picture.
Come on. Bigger picture, what are we trying to do?
Well, I feel like a lot of times we go to the internet and we try and search for something, but we can't figure out, or I can't figure out the right thing to search for. So it's kind of like brainstorming through
All right, Molly,
Google.
let me just do this. Molly, you know what? I really love Molly. Molly's a former student of mine, in case you guys don't know that. And the reason why I like her so much is she's so cool. She's got a great attitude. She's like Aaron. She's like Teflon. I could throw anything at Aaron and it just slips right off that dude. Sleepy Castle is like, whatevs, right? And Molly's the same way. She's so strong. She's indomitable. I mean, she shared a vulnerable story last time we were on air, but really, she's one tough lady. She's the only woman I know that can do pull-ups, like legit straight up pull-ups.
Thanks, Chris.
She's super tough. So I just want to say that. And the thing that I like about her too is she recognizes she needs to work on her communication skills because she took this job because she wanted to work on that. How many of you guys are ready to face your fears like that? How many of you introverted creative types are willing to jump on and be live and be criticized and be ridiculed possibly and be adored obviously as well? And she's taking Toastmaster classes now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm trying, guys.
You know, I'm not very good at speaking, but I don't want to go to Toastmasters. It scares me. And you know what? People told me not to look directly in the camera because it scares them, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to stare directly at the camera, right at you, Daniel. I'm going to peer into your soul, my friend. Okay. Anyways, let's keep going. Big ups, Molly. What are we trying to do here? Here's the thing. This is one of my beliefs. All of the world's information, pretty much, is connected on the internet already. And just everything's available to you just right at your fingertips. It's so powerful. But what we have to do is we have to learn how to unlock that incredible power that's available to us. So when I'm working with students, they get stuck. They run into a brick wall and they're creatively constipated. They can't get an idea out. So I say to them, you know, have you looked up this thing, this artist, this designer, this building, this gadget? Have you done any? Yeah, I have. Show me what you searched. And they just type in the most basic things and that's all they get. What else did you search? Oh, that's it. So oftentimes I would sit down with them. I would say, try searching this. And 3 or 4 searches later, we find exactly what they need. So to survive in the 21st century, to survive and thrive in the knowledge economy, you have to learn how to learn. So that's what the art of search is. So Molly, take it away. What are we doing?
So, sorry I couldn't explain it just like that.
It's okay. You're working on it.
I know, I'm working on it. The thing that I'm trying to search for is finding your passion. So I need to make a thumbnail that will live on YouTube and will be the cover of a video that is finding your passion.
Ooh, finding your passion. Okay. So the context here is this. We have to make thumbnails all the time, you guys. And it's sometimes very difficult to find a singular image that communicates this idea without being too on the nose, okay? To not be cliche. So how do we begin finding this? And I'm going to have Aaron cut to my screen, and we're going to search together, okay? Molly, you drive me, and let's see
Okay.
what happens here. Or do we want to look at your screen?
No, let's look at your screen.
Okay, let's look at my screen. So what should we search?
Finding
Your passion, right?
So
Finding your passion?
finding
That's
your
the topic.
passion.
So we're going to create a thumbnail for our YouTube channel, Finding Your Passion. So
Okay.
go ahead.
So, I mean, when I think of passion, the first thing that I think of is fire. But
Fire.
maybe we should just search passion.
Okay, I'm going to type in passion.
Just it's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So the first thing I want you to do here is type really slowly, because oftentimes Google will tell you with their predictive text or typing what most people look for: passion fruit, passion planner, passion fruit Drake.
Yeah, that's really hot right now. So
Yeah, I don't even know what that is yet. And
It's
then
a-
passionate. So should we look at passion?
yeah, passion.
Okay. And you guys follow along. I'm going to show you a process for you to find images and find ideas and use Google as a collaborative creative partner. This should be very valuable to you guys. So here we go. What do you want me to do next?
So go to images.
Okay, mistake number 1.
Oh.
Set up. All right. Let me
All right. Wait. Look at synonyms. Let me take that back.
no.
Okay.
First, let's just try to find what the word means.
Okay.
Because oftentimes we don't understand the meaning of words. So it's right here. It tells you strong and barely controllable emotion. Does that sound like the word we're looking for? Strong and barely controllable emotion. That's the number 1 definition. A man of impetuous passion. And the second one, the suffering and death of Jesus, the passion of the Christ.
Interesting.
So what do you think?
Yeah. Number 1.
That's it? That's what it sounds like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, finding your passion. Finding your strong and
Strong.
barely controllable emotion.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at images then. That's the second thing we're going to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to scan in here. And here's my rule of thumb. Like 3 flicks of the screen, if you don't find what you're looking for, you've typed in the wrong word. So let's do it.
So we're wrong word.
Whoa, I should turn on the NC-17.
I know.
I got to make this safe for TV. Okay, are we seeing what we need to see?
Oh, those
No.
matches are
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay, hold on. Let's take
The
a...
fire.
So there's fire.
Matches.
There's a heart that's on fire. That's 2
Yeah,
images
but that's like
combined together.
2.
And then there's matches. Igniting your passion. Sparkler. More hearts. A lot of fire and passion.
What's with the flaming tripod thing? That's
You know where he is? He's taking
On
the
a
picture
lava.
at active volcano.
volcano's good for passion, right?
No, not really.
Well,
All right.
we're now we kind of seem to be a little stuck here. What else can we look for?
Let's see. Passion.
You want to look at
Explosion.
art?
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Oh, art. I thought you said heart. Yeah. Let's see art.
Passion art. I'm not really feeling the inspiration here. What else can we do?
Can we search a different word? Could we talk about it for a minute and then search a word?
Yes, we can. Now, here's a tip for you guys. Does passion sound like a very broad word or a very specific word?
Broad.
Broad.
Okay.
It is broad.
So when we first search, we start broad, and then we narrow it in. We need to become more specific. And there's a reason why, because you might be surprised. This is an adventure. This is a journey. So if you type in 4 or 5 words, it's only going to come up with one thing. And you don't want to box yourself in just yet, because I wasn't thinking about matches nor fire myself. Finding your passion.
So if the definition was emotion, uncontrollable emotion, should we? But those are all broad words again. So let's see.
Okay. I'm going to write something down here, you guys.
It's broad, uncontrollable. Someone's saying enthusiasm,
What do you mean
but
search enthusiasm? Is that like a jab at us that we're not?
No.
no.
Aaron, I
We
don't
look
mean
at you
to
all
attack you.
defensive.
Okay.
It's so quick.
Here's a word that I'm going to help you guys with, okay? If you add one more word to this, what word would we add to kind of narrow the search a little bit? What word would we add?
Finding.
Huh?
Finding.
You want to type in the entire search? No, that's not the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
Good try. Next.
Passion, job,
Fruit?
job,
What did Aaron say?
Work passion.
work.
No. Okay. We want. I'm not. Okay. Let me clarify. I realize your response tells me my question wasn't clear. We want to add another word on top of the word passion to narrow the search for the word passion. We're not trying to introduce another idea
Oh, I
Okay.
got it. It's like a synonym, but that narrows it in a little
or something
bit more.
like that. How do we narrow this thing down?
Okay.
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 So wait, what was the thumbnail
Inspiration.
about again? So like, what was the video about?
Finding your passion.
And then, but we already saw the video. Like it had us.
No, I just wrote the word passion. There was no illustration, metaphor. Or
So
anything.
let's see.
Like love?
Okay, that's another synonym, right?
Yeah, but then that kind of takes you more towards hearts and people kissing and stuff.
Yes.
What?
Or maybe
me
you
go
want to
to
go more
screen?
towards like, what?
Okay, hold on. There's too many voices, guys. Everybody just
Molly's bossing me around. What'd you say,
stop
Molly?
bossing them around, Molly.
No, I wanted to see what you were typing, Chris, on your
Okay,
screen.
so this is passion, love. This image is interesting to me because this gets into surrealism, where there's a strong silhouette of a female, and we've seen this done 1,000 times. It's effective every single time I see it. And she's broken up, and what looks like to be a lot of rose petals or something. I don't know what it is. I can't really see it. I didn't mean to click on that, you guys. But this could be butterflies, something red, and hearts or something. So combining two images, one deteriorating a bigger image into a smaller thing, it shows you what it is. So that's kind of cool. So I can borrow that idea right now.
Okay.
I can take, say, like a Wacom pen or a mouse or something, or a paintbrush, and I can break up the paintbrush into little bits of hearts.
Okay.
So you see there's an idea here. We
Yeah,
just need to be able
yeah.
to see it. So while you two were busy bickering and bossing each other
I was just
around-
telling you to cut to your screen. We couldn't see what you
No,
were doing.
I was like on a roll saying some real shit, and you were like,
all right.
Aaron, easy.
Oh, sorry.
All right, keep the language. The language. All right. So here's the word I'm gonna suggest you try. If you try the word passion concept, passion idea, passion metaphor, oftentimes that is the secret sauce.
Okay.
And for that, I
Oh.
expect a donation, you guys. Let's try it.
Passion.
Passion idea. Let's try
Yeah, write
that.
that in your notes for
I am.
Okay, so this one's not great. Okay,
Oh.
and there's a
man.
reason why too. And I'm gonna introduce the next little tip for you guys. All right, stay focused.
I have a
everybody.
question. Should you only be searching on Google at first, or should
That's
you?
where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Good.
I'm
Yeah,
just.
you're right.
I'm
I was,
asking.
you know what? I was just, let me give you another tip, and then Aaron shoots his mouth. No, all right. Sometimes Google is not a great place to find things because it's noisy on Google. So I'm going to go into Shutterstock. We have an account on Shutterstock. They're not a sponsor of the show anymore, but I'm going to look for, let's try the same keywords, passion, idea. Now we get something different.
The matches again.
It's a little bit more curated. So once burnt out there, that's interesting of burnout. Okay. Another creative way to interpret a heart, passion, idea. Well, there's a knot here. Interesting. So the things that are pulling my eye into this is things that combine two things. There's a little unexpected moment. Here's another take on passion, and it's a heart cloud. Look at this art tube there. Oh,
Ooh.
see?
Nice.
Huh?
They're
Okay.
combining things.
All right. They're
Mhm.
connecting two things. So we all, I think, when I say all, most of us in this room and probably tuning in, like it when people combine two things together. This is what I talked about in terms of creativity, the ability to connect two disparate ideas, two unrelated ideas, and find a common thread. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So let's jot that down.
And here you typed passion idea.
I typed in the exact same word.
Passion idea.
I want to do this to demonstrate a point. This is what you get on Google. Some weird stuff. And I'll tell you why in a second, why it's weird on Google. And then this is what you get using a stock photography site like Shutterstock. And the reason why is this is because somebody has been paid and is incentivized to meta tag all their images and call them what they think it should be. They're also thinking about how you might find it in search words. So I'm going to go into this one right here. I'm going to click on this one with a tube of paint. Okay. If I scroll down here, we're going to see all the words that they use to describe this thing. So I'm going to hit show more.
Oh.
Yeah. This is the art of search, my friend.
Yeah.
Art of search.
Look at that.
Any donations coming in yet? Guys, come on.
No,
Okay,
no.
gosh. It's a hard crowd to please. Okay, anyways. So it says red paint in the shape of a heart on white paper background, flat lay, love concept. That's how they described it. And then they started to do meta tags. Paint, love, acrylic, concept, creative, heart, etc. So sometimes what you think the word that you're looking for, it's not the word that everybody thinks of. We want to find some other words. So sometimes these other words are more powerful. So I make a note like, oh yeah, maybe it's like abstract passion.
Oh.
You don't know. Now conversely, images on Google are indexed by their smart robots. They're spiders that crawl all over the internet. And people generally just upload images and they don't do best practices for SEO. They're not paying attention. So they'll call the file 1-44-2A7B-42. So Google can only try to figure that out because they're not doing all the meta tag. So that's why the images on Google are a little bit messier in terms of their organization than, say, some site that actually profits from you being able to find the images. Okay? So that's how you search.
I see.
So
Okay.
is that it? Is that it? This is the
Well, I
image?
don't know. I feel like Aaron's going to rush me off the stage
Yeah.
here with the hook. So here's the other thing I want to remind you guys. The title of the show is called Finding Your Passion. We've only solved half the problem.
Yeah.
Finding your passion.
So we need to
So
add
there's
the
two things.
finding
Like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a plus symbol. We would add this, and we would just keep searching and searching and grabbing images and storing them somewhere and not thinking about whether or not it works or not. This is the critical part. The other tip that I give people is that they get too critical and they judge things too much. They judge it too quickly. So all I want you to do is look at something. If it inspires you, if it's 1/8 of an idea, you just grab it. It costs nothing to grab and save. Put it in a bucket. Because you never know where that's going to lead you. Now look at this. As I stare at this image, let me see if I can go bigger on this image. There we go. You guys see this right here?
Yes.
So this is a tube of paint. It speaks about the artist. And then there's this thing, this blob, which is kind of organic, and it's a heart shape. And I see in it these two reflections. It's window lit. It's beautiful lighting. But now my eye and my mind wanders a little bit. What if these reflections were like a reflection of you? Like a person looking back at it. Maybe there's something there. So then we can let our imagination go and play around with the reflections in the paint. So that's an idea potentially. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now, another really cool thing about Shutterstock is related images. So I was sneaking down here. I shouldn't have done that, but here we are. So now we have similar images. And these, for whatever reasons, they've determined through algorithms that they're most related to this thing. And so this is sometimes a great place to start looking as well. So this is where you can chase it down infinite rabbit holes and be inspired and look at things and use this as a creative partner. And the best part of this creative partner is you don't have to pay them 1 cent. They work for you 24 hours a day. There's no workers' comp. They never take a vacation. They're here for you all the time. They're the best friend you never had. Now, the other thing I'll do is look at the same artist, because sometimes certain artists have a very strong photographic style and a sensibility that I like. Now, I'm looking at these images. Look at this. This is really cool. This might be combining like 3 images together now. So it's a chili
pepper.
chili pepper, which is hot. Passion, and then it's a tube of paint, and then it comes out like a heart. And then they had this leaf and the green. This person's kind of creative. I like it. So if we go and click on see all, this will open up a whole world of exploration too. Look at that. So there's some beautiful colors in here. I don't know what's going on yet, but I just scan images really quickly. I just scan about a rate like this, and if anything pops out, I stop, I look at it, and I click on it, and I keep going deeper. Now, this red chili pepper, I'm going to click on this image because it'll take us on a whole nother path. Again, I look at the words, right? Look at the words in case you get a better word, and every once in a while, 3 or 4 searches in, you will find exactly what you want. There's some really, like I would have never started here with the leaves surrounding this thing. That's also very beautiful. I need to add this to my box. Okay, so don't be afraid. Look at this balloon. This balloon, that's a pineapple.
Cactus, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a cactus. Yes, it's not a pineapple. Pretty cool. Okay, you guys, this is the kind of stuff that I think could change your game if you don't really know how to use search and use it as a creative partner. And this is like a creative sounding board for me.
Yeah.
I think let's wrap up this segment.
Okay.
Hopefully that you guys have some actionable items, some tips that Molly's going to review at the end of the show.
Yes.
Because I see her taking 0 notes, but we'll see what happens. She's got this all memorized, guys. It's okay. What's the next segment?
Next segment is role playing.
Uh-oh.
What'd I get myself into?
Okay, role playing. Some of our favorite segments from the fans is when we role play. And it's a little tricky sometimes because it depends on my role playing partner. And what we talked about yesterday is, Molly was watching that episode with me and Melinda. And she's like, I can do that. You should have picked me. I could have sold you. And we tried, and guess what happened? Choke. It looks easy on TV. So
It looks easy.
What we've devised, Molly, hold it up to the camera. Show them what we got.
So
We have 2 spinners, right?
2 spinners. Grab the other one.
Is that a low contrast spinner? Because I can't see what's on the white. Molly?
No.
Design flaw?
Yes, it's a design flaw.
Okay, so contrast is key. Remember, contrast is king?
Yes.
All right. So
Contrast.
We can barely see
Okay,
it.
well,
Molly.
I'll read it. On this one,
Okay.
it says price, location, experience, and team. So this one. And then the next one.
We explain what that means?
Oh, this is the topic that we're going to be arguing, or not arguing, talking about. So
Okay, let me explain that.
okay.
Price, location, team. What's the other one?
Price, location, experience.
Experience and team.
Team.
These are the most common objections you're going to hear from a client. The client's going to object about your price, about the size of your team, or if you're qualified, like your experiences. What is the last one? And location, like where you
Location.
are. Like some of you guys are in India, in Eastern Europe, and you say, well, international clients won't work with me. Well, that's an objection. So that's the objection spinner. What's the next one?
The next one's emotions. So how you're feeling, which is angry, flirty, confident, indifferent, confused, or unsure.
Okay. And why are we doing that, Molly?
So you can be in the mindset and see how you can still close a deal, but by being unsure or confused or indifferent.
That's almost the answer I was looking for. The reason why we're doing that
Mm-hmm.
is because oftentimes I will try to overcome objections using my own experience and my confidence. And so a lot of people who are watching our show say, well, Chris, I can't be you. You've got a 22-year company. You've got a team. You've won awards. I can't do that. And so they're saying, I can't borrow your confidence. It's not going to work. So what we decided to do was do different emotional states. So I'm going to try to sell adopting a different mindset. So I can't be confident. I have to try to sell unsure, or if I'm confused, or whatever it is. And the remarkable thing is you'll see what happens, okay? So that's why we do that.
Okay.
Molly, we went through this whole thing last night, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so let's go. Let's spin this.
Okay. So, and Aaron and I are a team here. Or, Jesse? No? Okay. All right. So, let's see. First one.
Wait, what are we... Molly,
We're
you
spinning-
have to...
sorry.
Remember,
Hold
we
it
don't
up.
even can see what you're
Hold it
doing,
up
Molly.
and
We're
spin.
spinning... Sorry, I'm sorry.
There we go. What did it land on, Aaron?
Location.
Okay, so location. Let me write that down. So the client's objection is you're not in the right place. Location. That's the objection. Come on, Molly.
And the next one.
Hold it up.
Unsure. Unsure.
Unsure. I'm going to be unsure.
Also, we got 3 donations that I wanted to
Read them
mention.
off. Read them off.
Sean, Tony, and Nathan.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Sean. $10. Tony, $10. And
So-
Nathan?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Unsure
Okay.
and location.
You guys, so for some reason, I don't know if it's me, but is the energy okay? Like, this seems like really boring. We have a fun game.
I know.
What happened?
Don't worry, it'll get fun
Yeah.
once we get started.
What's wrong?
All
Bring
good.
some energy to this.
All right,
Yeah,
we got
guys,
it. We got
come on,
this.
bring some energy to this show.
Okay. Someone's saying we should bring Ben on. I agree.
Well, somebody's going to lose their chair pretty soon. All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
Okay. Who am I? Am I the client or are you the client?
I'm
I'm
you
the
know
client.
what? You're the client.
I'm the client.
Okay.
You guys try and sell
I'm
me.
gonna be unsure,
You're gonna be a team. It's
We're on
we.
a team.
We, right?
We're a team.
We're a
team.
You guys are
team.
a team.
and we're
you're
both
unsure. That's your disposition. That's your emotional state. Here
Okay.
we go. And I'm gonna bring up the objection. We're gonna try and sell what, like a logo and an identity system?
Identity.
Okay, identity system. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm gonna write this down. ID system. Play along, guys. I have no
Okay.
sound effects for this
All right.
game show. Maybe it's like this. Aaron, I got no sound on my thing.
Why?
What? No sound?
I got nothing.
Chris sounds muffled.
No. I'm talking about my
Oh.
game, my soundboard.
Um,
There we go. Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
Now we got sound effects. Here we go. All right.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen tuning in live today on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, we're going to be playing role play. We have 2 spinners, and it's been determined. The objection is location, and their disposition is unsure. You see how I did that with a little enthusiasm?
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, let's go. Hey guys, I'm really interested in working with you guys, but we're on the East Coast and you guys are on the West. I don't know how to resolve that. I don't know if that's going to work for us.
why do you think that's not going to work?
We're in different time zones.
Right.
I get up 3 hours ahead of you guys. I don't want to be waiting for you guys.
So, is that your only concern?
Yeah, other than that, are we?
I mean, I
a good
guess.
choice?
I guess I'm concerned if you guys going to deliver and how the communication's going to be like.
So, because of our location, the
It
You
won't
don't
be
think-
as crisp as someone with that's like right where you're at, right? Like someone you could just call. I understand that. That makes sense.
The thing is yeah, that makes sense that you're upset. I mean, worried about that, but we will deliver on time.
Okay, well, I feel like my associate over here is getting ahead of herself.
Wait, hold on. Aaron, they want us to go split screen on this.
Okay, we can do that.
More money is coming in, you guys. Joshua Harvey, thank you very much. And who else? Oh, yeah, Joshua Harvey.
Okay.
Love the transparency you guys are providing for the community. We've all needed this for so long. Psyched to support. Thank you so much, Joshua. Really appreciate you, man. Okay, so Molly went straight for the kill. Like, we can deliver. She went
Yeah.
super confident. Okay.
Which I like
No.
I like your confidence, and I also think that. But I want to address your concern that where you can't communicate with me. I think I'm a great communicator, and I'm super responsive. So I'd like to address that. You were gonna say something? Associate
Yeah.
number 3.
Well, there are many ways to keep in contact, and calling is one of them. But since it's 3-hour difference, email seems to be the best way, and we can have a Google Doc to keep in contact so that I can update you on what we're doing, and that way the communication gap will be closed in.
Okay, now Erica wasn't sure of the ground rules here because she didn't go through this game with us yesterday, and that's totally okay. Now, what happened here is we had 3 people sell me right away. Molly did it really strong. Aaron started to back up, and then he sold me again. And then Erica came in like, well, no, we got this. We got an email thing, you guys. All right, that didn't quite work out. Now, you're supposed to be unsure. You're supposed to use the tactic
Okay, I'll
of
try.
being-
I'll
No,
do.
hold on. You're supposed to use the tactic of being unsure. You guys know what that means?
Yes,
Being
yes,
unsure?
yes.
But you're so confident.
Okay, let's do it. I'll
You
be
guys are so
unsure.
confident.
I don't know how to be unsure
I know
and
how to be unsure. Let me
and
do
try
it.
and talk to you. Like
There's one quality
don't-
Aaron knows how to be. It's
Listen,
totally to be unsure.
Okay.
it's
You know
hard
how
to
to
be
be
unsure
unsure.
and still talk about.
Molly, trust me, it's easy for you
All
to be
right,
unsure.
all
Don't
right.
worry.
Let's try it again. All
All
right.
right, let's try.
Wait, hold on, guys. I don't know where this is going.
All right.
Can we do this?
Can we?
No. When you were watching Melinda, you're like, I got this.
I know.
And what happened?
Because I was watching what she. I don't know. I was just watching what she was saying, and I wanted to speak for her.
And now you have the chance to speak for her.
I know.
What's going on?
No, I know what's going on.
Well,
It's
I
like-
have to be unsure, and I want to be confident. That's what it is.
You can't be unsure and confident. They're
I
either
I know.
ends
Well,
of
I'm
the
saying that's the
spectrum.
problem with the game is that I have to be unsure, and I don't know how to act.
Well, Aaron, what is my philosophy on how to do sales and overcoming objections?
You gotta say, you know what, you're right. You're right. Like, we are far away. Maybe this isn't gonna work out. Like, I don't know. Maybe you're right. That's step 1, right? You gotta, like, embrace. Like, I'm on your side, Like,
Okay.
this does suck. And
Oh,
what
okay.
can we do about it?
Okay.
All right. So I know people that are online, they know this game very well. And the thing that I've said to you guys before is embrace and
Pivot.
pivot.
Jiu-jitsu.
Embrace and pivot. Perfect. You guys know what that means, embrace?
Yes.
Instead of punching back and saying, no, we can do this. I got email. I got Trello. I got things to solve this problem. You're not listening to me. So embrace and then pivot. So let's
Okay.
do that again.
Okay.
You're
But I
unsure.
still have to be unsure. Well,
Did you not invent this game with me, Molly?
Yes, yes, okay,
It's almost
okay.
like you don't know the rules.
all right.
You want to be confident?
Yeah.
You want to ignore the rules of
No,
the game?
no, it's fine. Let's do it. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Okay, the game that we worked on for hours. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. I'm going to change the location now.
Oh,
They want me to be in some other country.
where?
Let's say I'm in Brazil. Guys, we're in Brazil. I don't know if this is going to work. How do we do this?
So where are we?
You're in LA.
We're in LA, you're in Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
not make this too complicated.
Okay.
You're in Argentina. No, you're freaking in LA, Aaron.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So you're. All right. Start.
I already started. I don't know if this is going to work. We're in Brazil.
I understand. I mean, I understand that the time and the location's an issue. So I hear what you're trying to say. And how can we work through this?
I don't know. I thought that was the problem.
Well,
You tell me.
Okay, first step, right? Embrace. Like, you're right. We are far away. I see that is a problem. And then somehow we got to pivot to... Oh, yeah, you got to change it. So make it not about the location.
okay.
So we
Okay. I know what you guys are doing. So Aaron knows how to embrace really well. He's
Okay.
good at that. So I'm going to add in one step in between the embrace and the pivot is embrace and demonstrate empathy. So we're going to add another thing. It's not as catchy as embrace and pivot, but we're going to do embrace, demonstrate empathy, and then pivot.
Okay.
Okay.
Stop selling me, you guys.
Okay. You're the embracer.
Okay, so I feel like you've been embraced, right? Do you feel like
Let's do this clean, you guys.
Let's
do
do
this
it clean.
Okay, start over.
Let's do this clean.
Last time we start over, hopefully.
There's people laughing so hard at you guys right now. They're just laughing at you guys. Okay, here we go. Wake up, studio audience. Hang in there. We're gonna get this, and this is really important because when you guys watch me do this on the channel, it looks super duper easy. It's because in my mind are 100 different scripts, and I've seen this 1,000 times before. I know how to do this. I'm confident at doing it, and I'm the guy who wrote that thing, Embrace and Pivot. And so it's really great actually to see Molly and Aaron, who, if I'm making some assumptions here, have not sold very many projects, have not talked to too many clients in real life. So this is the perfect way. And if they can learn it, maybe you guys can get something from this and apply it today. Let's try again.
Okay.
Start it up. I'm now moving to Japan.
Okay.
I'm Japan. And Aaron, where are you?
I'm in America.
Yes, you're in LA.
Okay.
Yes, you are. Okay, guys. I'm concerned about the time difference. We like to have really close communications with our vendors. You guys, how do we overcome this? Because I'm not sure this is going to work.
I hear you on that. I like to have close communication with people I'm working with too. So I totally hear you. That's a concern, and we gotta address that.
Good. How are you going to address it?
How are we gonna address it? Well, I mean, I could go on and tell you that, try to prove to you how responsive we can be, but long story short, we're never gonna be as responsive as someone that works right next to you in your country, right? But I'm wondering, is that really your biggest concern? I mean, is that what's most important to you, this location thing? Like, what? I feel like there's something else going on here. Like, why do you think the location is an issue? Why is the quick communication so important? Like, do you think we can do this job, or do you
Because I want you to be responsive. If I've got a concern at 12 a.m. my time, or I'm sorry, at noon, I don't know what the time difference. Let's say it's 5 a.m. your time. How are you going to respond?
Right. I'm kind of at a loss here. Maybe my associates can help me out.
Associates?
No, I
Okay,
hear you.
like, okay.
I understand your concern.
Okay, let me try here. So I understand, and you know what? Maybe like if this communication thing is that big an issue, maybe we're not the right fit for you. Like, I totally understand, and if that is really that important to you, then maybe we're not the right guys for you. But just before we decide to make a decision on whether to work together or not, just maybe you can tell me about what it is you're trying to do, real quick.
I'm trying to find a good partner to work with that can do an amazing identity design.
Amazing identity design. Okay.
Well, I'm sure there are people in Japan that can do that too.
You guys try to push away the job already.
Yeah.
How about set up a framework that will work for both of you in terms of time? Like, we have like 8 hours or 24 hours response time. So you set up a rule, basically a guideline. So we have 24 hours to respond to the client.
Will that make you feel better if we set up some kind of schedule timeline where I, within 24 hours guarantee will respond to you? I mean, that sounds like we're just trying to,
Well, yeah, I'm trying to do the pivot. We need to talk about something else, then we can like pivot back, and I don't know.
I was trying to pivot towards, what are you trying to do?
We're not trying to address the concern?
Well, no, we're trying to pivot away from that because we can't win there.
Embrace the concern.
Yeah, which we have, right?
All right, you guys, you know what we're going to do? The internet's going crazy. Excuse me. The internet's going crazy. Half of them love you guys struggling through this. It's super awkward and it's super raw right now. You guys are like, what are we doing?
I have a question for
We're watching a car accident happen in real time.
Can I just ask something
Go
to
ahead.
the client, and you could tell
Yeah,
me
go
if
ahead.
it's wrong?
I'm the client.
So what made you reach out to us? If
There we
this
go.
Location
There we
was-
go. You guys are ding dongs. Hold on.
Where
let
were
me,
you?
Like, where's the ding dong sound effect?
Thinking of that
There we go.
question.
Okay.
That's a good question, Erica. Good job.
Whew. You guys remember, you're supposed to embrace and empathize. If they called you only to diss you, then you
Yeah,
have
what's
to
up with
ask
that?
them, why did you call us?
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like
Yeah,
Erica's been
okay,
watching
okay.
our show or something, and I don't know where you guys have been. No more sniffing markers, you guys.
Okay,
no
hold
more.
on. We should write that down. So first embrace, and then ask them, well, if
Why
this is
did you
such a
contact-
problem, why are you
okay.
contacting me? And then move it into like,
Okay.
what's the
High
show
level.
about?
Let's do high level. So whoever's taking notes right now,
Yeah,
and Molly's taking notes for you guys. The key concept is embrace, show empathy, and then pivot. The way we show empathy is we try to look at the world through their eyes. We got to stop being ourselves. Now, I asked this question to you guys tuning in. Aaron, can we go full screen on this? I'm going to ask you guys this question. Most of us are in the making space. We make logos, we craft things, we want to get our hands dirty, and that's really cool. Some of us want to be art directors or creative directors. Well, I aspire just to be paid to think, to talk, and that's it. And I want to be paid really handsomely. And in the world of which we live in, they're usually called consultants. Now, how many of you guys, I know you guys can't raise your hand, but if I'm looking at a virtual classroom, I would ask this of the hundreds of people that are here, how many of you guys would like to be paid for your thinking, to be a consultant? And probably many of you would raise your hands. Not everybody. Some people really like craftsmanship, and I truly respect that, and I appreciate that. I want to honor craftsmen. Now, the people that have their hands raised, that want to be paid for thinking, to be hired as a consultant, when I ask you, what does it mean to be a consultant? What would you say? What does a consultant mean? Aaron, Molly? What does it mean?
Someone that you can bounce your ideas off of.
Yeah.
Helps you figure things out.
Guidance, talks to you.
Talks to you. What else?
Maybe they validate whether your ideas are good or bad.
Okay. Do
Give you
they
another
give you
perspective.
advice? Are they problem solvers?
Yeah.
Yes.
They give
Okay,
you
that's
that.
what it is. And so it turns out, consultant, the root word consult, doesn't mean to give advice. It doesn't mean to prescribe. It means to ask. If you want to be a consultant, you have to ask questions. And if you ask really good questions, they pay you a lot of money. When we went to see a therapist, it's kind of like the way it looks like on TV. They just ask you a lot of questions. How do you feel about this? Would you do that again? Now, they're very guided questions to help you realize something. And I always thought this was kind of awkward. I spend 1 hour with somebody for them to ask me questions, and so I do most of the talking. But by the end of it, I feel so good, and I feel like they helped me realize something. And that's more valuable than somebody just giving you advice, unsolicited advice. They're learning about who you are, your thought patterns, and what's making you get stuck. You want to be a consultant? Ask. Ask questions. That's key. So when you guys first attack this problem, you're like, we got sales software, we can fly there, we got solutions up there. You're not even listening to me. So the first question is, tell me more about your concerns. What's the worst that can happen? I'm just curious too. If that was a concern, why did you call us?
Yeah.
And then you make them tell you why you're good, why they appreciate you. Then you ask them, does the quality of the work outweigh the risk of us being in another country? Oh, you're right. Okay, but let's mitigate that now. Now you can move into the pivot. You can say, what if we offset our clock, or we have a ticketing system where you can send us a message and it'll be recorded. You'll get feedback on that. And as soon as we come into the office and while you're asleep, we'll be working all night. So you'll always have fresh things to look at the beginning of your day. Doesn't that sound like an advantage versus a disadvantage?
I have a question, Chris. You said, does the quality of... Finish this sentence for me. Does the quality of the work, something, whatever, the time difference? You said a really good sentence there.
Outweigh the disadvantage of the...
Outweigh the disadvantage.
Of the time
of the-
difference.
Yeah.
I think that's a key sentence, and if you could say it again, it would be great.
Okay, so if you called us because you liked our work, I have to ask you, does the quality of the work that we do outweigh the risk of a perceived disadvantage of time difference?
That's a very loaded statement
It
there.
sure is.
And the way you phrased it makes it so like, it's like, I don't know how to say it, but you put the good thing, like, I don't know how to say it, but it's a very cleverly made sentence.
Yes. Does it mitigate? Does it offset? Does it reduce? Does it diminish? Those are all words. Some of the words came from the internet. Peter, Sather, and I'm a dreamer. Or no, I'm sorry. Peter and Miguel. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, because that's a sentence that has absolutely no bias or opinion attached to it.
Yeah.
You're simply showing them two things, like on a weighted scale that way. How much do these things weigh to you, you know? Like.
Yes. Now, let me tell you guys a mindset thing, and we'll wrap up this segment. People are so super confused right now. Here's the wrap up on this. What I want to do, and this is very difficult to do, even though we're two people in the room, and I have obviously something at stake, something that I want. That's why I'm doing the meeting or I'm doing the call with the client. But I have to remove myself and be an advocate for the client, not for myself. And the more I make them feel that I have their best interests at heart, the more likely they are going to trust me, the more likely we are going to build rapport. And that's really, really critical. Now, you guys are sitting there busy thinking, I want to make money, I want to buy a new car, there's a new dress I got to get, I got bills to pay. So who are you really there for? You're there for yourself. And I've said this before, and it was at the end of another live stream that we said, is if you want to gain power, give up power. If you want to be an expert, tell them you're not an expert. It's the opposite of what you think. If you want the sale, give it away for free. It's a powerful thing, you guys.
I wanted to add something there. I
Go
thought
ahead.
it was interesting. Like, I noticed when we started our role-playing dialogue, and the first thing you said was, you guys are too far away. I don't know, how's this communication going to work? The first thing I felt was, I'm in a battle with you. Like, I'm angry with you. Like, you're insulting me. And I low-key undertone of everything I said after that was like, I want to hurt you, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, like, I want you to see that you're wrong. And, like, that was the tone of how the whole thing started for me. And I think when you do this, you don't have that, like, animosity towards the other guy, even though he's attacking you.
I have love, dude.
Right. Like, how do you keep the love going even when they're saying, like,
you know what
basically
happened, Aaron?
insulting you? Like, your business, you're not good, you know?
Well, that's what you're hearing. You're coming from a defensive place, and there's some insecurity in that. I don't want to be judgmental here.
No,
but
I think you're right. I am
there's a little
about
insecurity, and you're going to pick up on those things. Like, somebody says, why are you so bald? I'm like, that's a non-statement to me. It's like, whatever. It's like, I breathe, I wake up. Why do I have two eyes? It doesn't really matter to me. So when somebody says, well, we're not going to be able to make this work, I say, okay, I understand. Let's investigate that a little bit further. Let's delve into that. Now, something happened. When I shaved my head, when I lost all my hair, I went the way of the Shaolin. I'm just kidding, you guys. I didn't go the way of the Shaolin. I'm really not there. It takes two people. It takes two people to fight. If you have a significant other, if you're dating somebody, if you're married, whatever it is, and somebody's like barking at you, you have to respond if you want to engage in the fight. If you don't, you can slip out of this. It takes two people to fight. So when I see a punch being thrown at me, the Shaolin monks are, he's not even there for the punch anymore. I'm not here. I'm just right next to you. You just tap him on the shoulder, like, what are we angry about? You want to stand there for the punch, Aaron, because you think, I'm a tough guy. I'm going to overcome this, and I can outbox you. I can outfight you. It's that Latin machismo. I don't know what it is, right?
But that's the feeling deep inside. I don't say it, but it's inside.
Yeah, I'm extracting, pulling out of you. You want to fight.
Yeah.
You feel like, you know what? You've insulted me, man.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't insult me because I can't be insulted. I'm just moving on. All right, let's move on. Let's wrap up this segment, you guys. We have one last segment, and we're going to end the show. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You guys let us know. Let us have it if it sucked.
I feel like I sucked, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying.
People are donating again, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, we have 2 donations.
Anton, Pleshka. Anton.
Okay.
Love it. Thank you very much.
The last thing is explain why this is good.
Oh. Thanks for...
What?
There we go.
Oh.
Molly's running the show now.
All right. Here we go. All right. So explain why this is good. Explain why this is good. Now give us the context.
Okay.
You've had 2 attempts at this. This is your 3rd
I know.
attempt. Let's nail it.
Explain why this is good. I wanted Chris to pick apart an image so we can see what makes something powerful. So what makes a powerful image?
To break it down, so like to me, I look at something. Oh,
Get up
that's
to your
cool.
mic, dude. You're so far from your mic.
I look at something and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I can't explain why it's cool versus why something else sucks. It's just like either it's cool or it sucks. But then Chris can like break it down exactly what's happening in this piece of art, why it's good, and that's a good skill to have if you're a designer, I'm sure.
Yes,
So,
it's,
The ability to explain things.
right,
Yes.
to break it down.
Very good.
I want this
All
ability.
right. Thanks, Razatoon. He just wanted to say thank you. Thanks for donating. Okay, explain why this is good and why are we doing this. The reason why we're doing this is oftentimes you guys see me and I'm all critical and you guys think I'm an a-hole. Whatever, I get it. I'm a jerk. So we want to flip the script. Instead of looking at work and saying what's wrong with it, let's find work that we like. And we might not even know why emotionally we feel something. And I'm going to do my best to break it down and say what I like about it. And maybe we can learn something together. And then you guys will develop a visual vocabulary to describe work. Let's show them the work. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Showing
Any
the
day
work
now.
now.
Any day now.
There it is.
Oh. Okay, I need to look at this for a second. Everybody just take a look at this. Do you have the ability to zoom in, Molly, or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay, hold on. Oh. Okay. And tell us a little bit about this image. This is for RoboCop because it's all flipped in my screen here. It's backwards.
It's a poster done by Olly
Olly Moss?
Moss
Oh, Olly Moss is super awesome. He's
for
incredible.
RoboCop.
RoboCop. Okay. This is beautiful. Does everybody here think this is amazing?
Yeah.
Yes.
We are all nodding. Jesse, do you think this is awesome?
Yes.
So good. So good. Let's just marvel in the magic of Olly Moss. Okay. I think Olly Moss took on this challenge of doing a movie poster for a day, like one per day for a year. And that's incredible to kind of be able to output at that pace. So it forces you to make certain decisions. You can't do elaborate photo shoots or props or visual effects. So he has to be able to do things really quickly, assuming also he has a job. Poster for RoboCop. Why is this so good? I like it because of its graphic power. We're looking at basically an off-white color, an orange color, and black. So we're basically dealing with two-color design, and it's very striking. Why is this so good? Because you have a singular image, and what I like about it is it's not a silhouette. I mean, it could be considered a silhouette, but there's enough lighting on the RoboCop character so that just enough so you can figure out there's a person there. And what is happening here in the blackness is your mind completes the rest of the picture. And this is kind of taking an image and reducing it down, almost like an icon or a logo, so that you only see the essential parts. You see his lips and you see that slit for his eye and just a part of his shoulder blade. So it's a very powerful image. And when you look a little bit closer, because his eye looks a little strange, and when you push in a little tighter, you see that there's a gun and a trigger there. It's kind of like how he became the RoboCop guy, right? There's a bunch of gangsters. It's a movie from the 80s. And then it's a very simple typeset there. And typically, or usually what I would say is you don't want to typeset something with that kind of rag where it's making a shape. But that shape is very deliberate in helping you define his neck and where it separates from his shoulder blade.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Beautifully done. Amazing. A+, Olly Moss. And I'm not going out on a limb saying A+ Olly Moss because everybody loves his work. It's not like it's some controversial thing for me to say.
Mm-hmm.
How many more pieces do you have for us to look at?
I have two. But
Two
they're
more?
same from him.
Same? Okay, from him?
Yeah.
Let's look at the next one. All right. Let me look at this for a little bit. You want to tell us a story about this poster, Molly?
I don't because I
Thank you.
haven't seen.
You never
I
saw this
don't.
movie?
No.
I'll tell it to you.
Okay.
Okay, this is a Clint Eastwood film called Dirty Harry. Maybe it's early 80s. And this was when Clint Eastwood was leading man, very powerful, statuesque figure, jawline, everything used to be in a lot of Westerns. In Dirty Harry, he was a cop, and it was a very violent film. It was like kind of part of that grindhouse aesthetic. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say grindhouse? Like almost like B-movie. But, this was a studio picture. And what you see in here from afar, again, only two colors, black and orange on like an off-white color. And so you can see there, if you limit your palette and you put a lot of restrictions on yourself, it could lead to very creative things. When we're doing the typography crit, what I would often suggest is removing away everything and only putting on what's necessary. And when you feel like it's balanced, you can slowly add things back in. Let's look at this design. So it's almost centered, but it has this asymmetrical beauty to it. So the obvious image that we see is the gun with a little trail of smoke coming out of the top. And again, Olly likes to do this, and this is not a trick that's exclusive to Olly. Since the dawn of visual communication, since Magritte started doing this, we see in the negative shape the profile of Clint Eastwood. And that's really cool. So there's a double image in there. And when you do that, it kind of tickles your mind, because what you're doing is you're giving the viewer, the audience, kind of like a visual riddle. And when they solve it, it's a kind of a pleasurable sensation. Like, I'm smart. I saw that. Wow, that's cool. I didn't see that before.
Aha.
That's neat, right? Aha moment. And then he has a type again to fill in that space. Maybe that's something he likes to do. And then a little type in the corner just to give it a little asymmetrical balance and beauty. Again, another great poster. Awesome. Awesome job.
And
lots of guns. People are saying, lots
one.
of guns.
I know it's a little blurry. But.
Okay, hold on. He does posters that are not just black and orange, right? This just happens to be his black and orange.
But that's like a lot
series.
of the ones that were on
They're-
Google search were black and orange.
Well,
Okay.
he did a series. I think this is.
Yeah, it just
from-
goes in
Yeah.
phases, right?
Yeah.
Some have more color, some have more detail. Very interesting. Okay. Now, this is for There Will Be Blood, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, and he's some kind of ruthless oil miner. What is it? What do you call it? Tycoon.
Mhm.
And there's undertones of religion. So again, you see the first image, which is an oil pump. And then you see that the oil pump, the main shaft or whatever that's called, the axis, it's a cross. And then you look into the distance there on the horizon. Can you zoom in on that so I can see? I'm not sure I'm seeing it correctly. Zoom in. I can't tell. Are those
Here?
crosses? Are those graves?
Oh, yeah.
They're people standing.
Are they people standing?
They're working on the
I see.
the thing.
Okay, so there's something about oil and religion. Maybe for him, oil is God. Maybe that's what he's saying.
So it seems like in all of his pieces, there's always a aha moment.
Well, in the three pieces we've seen so
Yeah.
far. Yeah, always is a big comment. But yeah, I think that's what graphic communication is about. Visual communication is to try to say something so that the sum of the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. A cross by itself is a powerful image. An oil field, it's an image. And then when you put the two together, it makes both even more powerful. And then in this case here, he's using this Gothic typeface. Right? It's a Gothic typeface?
Mhm.
Yeah, can we zoom in on that? I was wondering if maybe you could talk about like how they laid out this.
I wish-
it's
Okay, I'm going to
so
tell you right
boring.
now. Okay.
You can't see it that well.
Oftentimes, okay, go zoom back out. Oftentimes when you have a very powerful image, you want the type not to work too hard. And this is all centered type because it will just recede into the background. And if you start doing too tricky of a typeface and edges start getting pulled out because you did flush left or something, then your eye goes there instead. But I have a sneaky suspicion that he used black letter or Gothic letters for a reason. Why do you think he used that particular typeface?
I had a thought on this actually.
Go ahead, give it to me.
Because what I saw on this thing is like he's like, because oil is underground, like where the devil lives, and it's fire. So then like he's kind of using the cross to like pull up, and then There Will Be Blood is like the devil kind of fire of hell underneath. You're like unearthing it because you're greedy or something, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I said it right, but
Yeah, okay. But you didn't answer my question. But okay. Anyways, the conversation on the internet right now is that There Will Be Blood has a lot of religious undertones. He said there was a preacher who was talking about power and using his roles of influence. But I really think my takeaway in this, and this is the nice thing about a piece of design like this, it could be something that's reflective in the story, but it could be pointing out to a bigger meta theme, which is, I think in Daniel Day-Lewis, oil is his God. And so there's something wicked about that. And when we talk about God and religion, what typeface do you think the Bible said in originally? It was hand-drawn by calligraphers and monks, drawing. So
Yeah.
hence the calligraphy, the black letter. So it ties it all in. So he's making a very conscientious choice. And black letter Gothic isn't very versatile, but it's used to communicate a feeling and a vibe. And we associate certain things depending on what culture you come from. It's like authoritative, either from God. A lot of German posters use black letter, and it's very powerful stuff. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Somebody's saying they love it better when we show what's wrong with design. Okay, guys. We can never do right by you guys. The internet is a fickle thing. Okay. I think it's time for us to wrap up this show and this segment. You guys, how did you guys like these 3 segments and hearing from Mrs. Doe and Erica? What do you guys think?
You're talking to me?
Yeah, or the internet.
Yeah.
I can't really talk to them.
I know. I feel like there was some value in definitely the role play. I definitely gained knowledge out of that.
Great.
Even though it was a little awkward or hard at times. But
Was it awkward or hard?
For me.
Yeah.
Because
Somebody's saying they want more role play. I think next time when we do role play, I will invite you guys into the room and we'll do a Zoom call.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll, everybody thinks they're a genius on the internet, so we shall see. And
yes, I would love to see that happen.
Me too, right? Wouldn't you guys like to see that?
Yes.
We get Sharif back on here. We get a couple other people. So the next time we do this, we will have a few people hand-selected by Molly to join us on the Zoom call, not a whole bunch of people, so that you guys can role play with us. Now, we have some notes, and we have a few announcements to make. Make your announcements, guys.
And I also have things that I learned.
Yeah, we're going to do that, the notes, remember?
Should we do that first? Or some announcements?
Go do the announcements, and then we're going to do notes.
Okay, so I got this sheet here of things.
Come on, do it with some enthusiasm, man.
All right, so, dude, I don't want to do this, but...
Then don't do it. Give it to Molly.
Molly, no, I mean, like, it just seems like I don't want to do this.
All right, guys, sign up for our weekly newsletter.
You get exclusive content, which is great.
Speaking to the mic.
See new See new products. Okay, just sign up for the weekly newsletter to know what's happening with our show and different kinds of things. There's a focus worksheet so you can really focus in on what you're trying to do. It's kind of like having Christo as a paper version. And then just check out our Facebook page where we have a lot of cool stuff there. I think this live thing will be on there. I think it is right now. And that's all I have today for announcements. Molly, you want to recap the day?
Yeah, I would like to recap what we learned today with role playing.
Can we get a graphic up, Aaron?
We can do that.
For role playing, embrace, show empathy, pivot, and don't attack the problem.
Great job.
For the art of search, look at other linked words to the image. Don't grab a bunch of images, don't edit through. Use Shutterstock and add idea or metaphor after the word.
Okay, I have some editorial comments here. Does somebody else have different notes than that? Well, keep that up. Okay, go ahead. What's the first thing you should do?
Oh. Wait, no, I just had
No, you can edit. Go ahead and edit it. You need to edit it. What's the first thing you need to do in the art of search? You need to take more prescriptive notes because you won't be able to find your way back. It's like a recipe, and you need to be super clear. I think we only got half of that, Molly.
Okay.
What's the first thing you guys need to do? Otherwise,
find the right word to search. Look at the definition.
Oh yeah.
No, the first thing is start broad and then narrow in.
Okay.
Right.
Start broad and then hit return, and then narrow in. You're going to need to make your type a lot smaller. And based on what we learned the other day about upper and lowercase, about legibility, what should we be doing? I'm reading this backwards, and it's super hard for me to read, but yeah? Upper lowercase?
I wasn't listening. Ask that again.
Upper and lowercase? Molly?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
The title can be uppercase.
I know, but okay, I'll just start over.
No, you can select it and then change it.
Oh.
I think you have to delete it.
No, you guys.
Okay.
Don't make me go Hulk on you right now. Go to font and change case. It's one more down, I think. Somewhere in there, and you can do.
Make
There
it
it is.
smaller.
You see, I use Keynote a lot.
Small caps?
Okay.
No, not small
Oh,
caps.
nice.
Sentence case or upper lowercase, okay? And that's
Okay.
going to be a lot easier to read. So first, start broad, and then narrow in. You got that?
Yeah.
The next step is slow down. Use the power of predictive typing. Okay. And then the way you narrow it... You done?
No.
Predictive.
Yeah.
Like predicting the future.
Predictive.
It's an E.
The day that Aaron tells you how to spell is a dark
All right,
day.
fine. Predictive.
Predictive typing. Next, try adding the words idea, concept, or metaphor to your search string. It's like somebody's only paying half attention. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to get there. Okay? And then the next thing would be to consider Shutterstock as an alternative to Google. So consider Shutterstock. And then what do you do there? And
then you look at other linked words.
And then if an image catches your eye, dig into that. Look at other meta descriptions and related artists and art.
So look at related artists and art.
Yeah. And then create image buckets. Don't judge. And lastly, don't forget that you have more words to search for. Okay?
Okay.
Because you have to complete the whole thing. That's it. That's the art of search. We all good then?
Yeah.
Let's go full screen on that graphic now.
Change.
No, let Aaron finish.
What? Start broad.
Yeah, this is board. There we go.
Okay.
Other words.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Thanks for catching that, Erica. All right, hit play. And Aaron, there we go. That's the graphic, you guys. Screenshot that. I can't really read it. It's all backwards on my screen. And I think we're going to end the show. I want to say thank you, Aaron. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I want to just clear a couple of things here. People are getting upset at us because we did a free live stream and then we turned it over to a pay-per-view model. And I'm a little confused by this, you guys. We've been giving away a ton of free content, way in excess of the $10, and we never asked you guys deliberately in terms of like locking a piece of content. We're trying a new business model. If you guys don't like it, I totally hear you. Watch something else. I totally understand that. But to expect for us to do all this thing for free, as we've been continuing to do, look how many people are in this room, the thousands of dollars, the tens of thousands of dollars of equipment that we're using, and the all the stuff that we use to make this show happen. To say that $10 is like killing you, okay, I get it. I guess you can go buy the book for $30 and read it and spend 3 weeks trying to learn something and hope that it works out. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I hear you. That's
confused, man.
I don't know about your embrace there, man. I mean,
There is no embrace here.
this is
I'm
not the
pivoting.
time
It's
to
all
embrace.
pivot, you guys. I try to embrace. We have almost 300 videos on the internet. 300 videos.
I hear you. There's still a lot of videos.
Well,
Right.
maybe they're just confused because you have been offered it for free, and why all of a sudden there's a charge. So
Okay.
maybe you
Point.
can explain that.
There's a good point.
Mhm.
We have to fund the company. In order for Aaron, Molly, and Erica to be paid to do this content, where does that money come from? It comes from you. This is like public television or public radio. It's not paid for by commercials. It's paid by the public, and that's you. I sound like NPR right now. So you guys got to do your part. And I feel like a few people are carrying the weight of the entire show for the rest of you guys, and that's okay. There is no obligation to watch our content. There's no obligation to share or to donate. So tune in, watch the free content. We'll continue to produce stuff all the time, which we will. And for those of you guys who can afford it, that want to increase your design skills and think that I'm a good teacher and like the content, support us. And if you don't worry about it. Go to the library, rent a book. It's totally free. I get it.
Right.
Or
That's
they can
totally
just
cool.
continue watch the free ones.
Yeah, and you can tune in
Yeah.
during the live stream, which we're only going to make available when we put it out there for free. So if you have more time, tune in. If you have more money, watch it at your leisure whenever you want. It's an experiment. If you guys don't like it, we won't produce them anymore. Okay? That's just the way it's going to be. All right. Thank you very much, Aaron. Cut the
Oh,
mic
and we
in.
also got a donation from Brandon right now.
Thanks, Brandon.
$25. Thank
Oh,
you,
wow,
Brandon.
$25.
I know.
Dang.
Nice.
Must be your eyes, Molly.
Well, Molly's eyes.
I know, it's all Molly's eyes. Zoom in on that. I wish we can zoom in, but we can't. Anyways, okay, Aaron, cut to my thing and let's get out of here. I have some music to end the show, I believe. There we go. Thank you, guys. See you guys tomorrow. We're going to be critiquing motion graphics work. So there's the titles. Let me give us some music to get out of here.